Good morning, guys, or actually afternoon now. Welcome to day 136 until I'm a YouTube millionaire. Sorry, this is coming out a little bit late. I had to change up my schedule a bit today. My mother decided that she wanted to go to the casino to do our live stream early in the morning, as opposed to our normal time, which is around noon Pacific Standard Time. So, I got to help her build her channel and got her an extra 30 subscribers, so that was good. But this is coming out a little bit later as a result. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read an essay that I wrote back in 2016 called Conviction. I have not read this since I wrote it all the way back then. Sorry, my hair's kind of all over the place, as it often is. So I get it out of my way. So let's go ahead and do this. When you are at 50% approval in your actions by the absolute maximum possible number of people in the world, you are on the ultimate knife's edge. This is appropriate because I was going to bring that up actually in the book review that I'm going to be doing here in a little bit. Profiles in Courage. I just finished it by John F. Kennedy. I was going to bring that exact topic up. Interesting that it came up here. In this situation, you absolutely maximize the velocity of human progress. There is literally no way to go faster. The primary trade-off in this scheme is that you do not get to live a life of conviction in anything you do if you are the one making the endgame decision. Or every choice you make must be with absolute and complete conviction, lest you find yourself making no decisions of any significance whatsoever. When everyone is talking, everyone is piqued, and everyone is frustrated to the maximum extent possible, you have all the minds in the world churning ideas together to come to the right conclusions. Basically, like what's happening in the world today. We're all emotionally piqued. Black and white juxtaposition. If you ever find yourself in that position, where you are able to make big decisions, do not think of yourself as never really being able to enjoy any decision. Instead, decide to make your decisions with conviction. I recently thought to myself that in such a situation, you would not have the capacity for conviction. But I realized why I thought that. It was because I was in the mentality of a person who would not want to hurt anyone. That is, I did not want to hurt anyone. I didn't want to make enemies. But then I realized you have to decide yourself. And if your conviction is solid enough, the pain you may cause others is just a temporary precursor to them either coming to your side or refusing. And at least in the current paradigm, there is no way to please everyone. Yet, as Winston Churchill famously said, you have enemies. Good. It means you stood for something at some point in your life. That's a paraphrased quote, but he said that. When put into this hypothetical situation, you are afforded the only real opportunity to be committed in your actions, not the other way around. I had it backwards. To make a decision in that scheme does not mean you are a jerk. It simply means that you have agency, and you are not molded by anyone else. Your decision is truly yours. If you find your position mollified by anyone else, then that person's will has an effect on you. In a way, it is stronger than yours. In a way. But if you do not make a decision, you refuse to have agency, out of fear. There are instances where you could be put into this position and you have absolutely no idea what to do, regardless of the wills affecting you. And you could even be put into the situation to make those kinds of decisions without even realizing you've been put into that situation or that position. Because people are watching you without you knowing them, taking cues from you. There may not be enough information to make a decision, or you do not know or remember how to do something. And therefore, even if you wanted to make a decision, you would be incapable of doing so. Thus, prepare for that point in your life, and we all have at least one of those points. Give yourself all the possible resources you can muster. Fashion yourself into the very strongest person you can possibly be. Be superhuman, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and in any other mode you can imagine. This is why I do all these book readings. It's why I write. I ran marathons. I work out every day. I write scientific papers. It's because this might actually happen to me, where I am put into a position where I have to make a decision without knowing what the hell I'm doing. Remember what I said before, how the books you read, you're not going to remember everything in them. What they give you is an intuitive sense of the right decision to make. It's psychological layering. That's what I'm talking about here. It gives you some level or some ability to have conviction. It is not being subjected to criticism by larger numbers of people that prevents you from living a life of conviction, but exactly the opposite. It is only under said criticism that one is ever afforded the opportunity to make decisions with conviction. We can all make mistakes, and I am just as fallible as any other human being. While I only built a short history of thinking the opposite was true, I was indeed wrong, and must rehash my steps. Whose wills have power over your own? Figure out how they have power over your will, and then figure out how to get out of those chains. But at the same time, still have the ability to make the most powerful decisions you can. That is to say, maximize your life's potential. All right, guys, this will be put into the description of this video. That's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed, got something out of it. Love y'all. Peace.